When we bought our house, the bathroom was like this. Since we didn't have much of a budget, we went with the most affordable option, and to cover the old tiles, we applied special putty for tiles. We replaced the shower and cabinet with the most affordable options, resulting in an acceptable but unsatisfactory bathroom. So years later, we decided to give it a new makeover, this time though, completely in our own style. The first thing was good planning. How did we want our bathroom to be? We tried several things until we finally settled on one option. I made a 3D plan and we went to Bauhaus to get all the materials we had in mind. I started by removing the laminate flooring, which, with the temperature changes, was also starting to lift. And there's always time to discover new tools. It was time to work on the walls, of course. Do you remember that years ago we put some putty to cover the tiles? Well, we had doubts about whether it would hold the weight of the new tiles. So after talking to several technicians, they advised us to put a fiberglass mesh with powdered plaster so that it would create a completely solid structure.
When you apply
around here? After covering all the walls, we could start with the tiles. In our design, we had chosen a combination of wood-look porcelain and stone-look porcelain so we could play with the reliefs and textures. We placed an iron bar, leaving the first tile to be installed so that we could overlap the wall tiles onto the floor. Watch your mouth, Ivan! Let's see. It looks like you have a little white beard. Look, I'll turn you around. The idea was to combine the wood imitation with the shower and the stone imitation with the rest of the tiles. And this way create a perfect sense of chromatic harmony and later on add some touches of color with accessories. After finishing the walls, we proceeded with the floor, also from Bauhaus. We chose one similar to the most neutral walls and started installing it until we finished, then moved on to placing the last panels on the lower part with a bit of grout, stone color. And now we can continue with the furniture. Here we have the wood that will go on top. We bought all the furniture at Bauhaus. In the first episode, we showed you this piece. Personally, I loved it because I really liked the combination of wood with white. Look how cool it is, I didn't even remember what it looked like. I guess you've noticed that there's nowhere to wash your hands here, so let's take that out too. I love it. It's beautiful. I think it's going to look amazing in the bathroom. Do you remember what the cabinet looked like?
It's nice and really beautiful, better than I remembered. We chose the wood color and the top part. I didn't remember that it was matte.
No, I didn't remember either. It looks really cool that it's matte. This faucet, yes, we showed it there because they brought it to us, let's say. And look, what a beautiful and original faucet. And it's made of stainless steel, like the one we had in the kitchen. Now we just need to see it. Since I'm really looking forward to seeing the faucet in black, I like that one too. The thing is, since we weren't going to change the shower, because it's not very old either, the whole structure was made of stainless steel, so of course the faucet had to match the structure and everything else. Well, that's how we wanted it, and that's why we chose it in this color, which I personally love. I eagerly opened the cabinet, unable to wait any longer. The box was merely an excuse, but that's okay. It's the drawer unit that matches the cabinet. If you notice, it's the same handle and everything, also the same color, and it follows the same style as the cabinet. So we're going to use this to put our things inside. It has several shelves and...
Before assembling the sink cabinet, we'll install the toilet, which is essential in a bathroom for obvious reasons.
Exactly, we've chosen this one, which is the Bali model, and honestly it works really well because it has a self-cleaning system inside. And so when the little jet of water comes out, it cleans the area where the dirt usually collects and that black stain appears. We have a model upstairs that we plan to install in the downstairs bathroom too.
Now let's move on to the toilet tank. What we're going to do first is, can you see your hole butt, Ivan? The first thing we're going to do is screw it to the floor, because we didn't do that upstairs, and it wobbles, and that causes quite a few problems. We weren't too happy about making holes in the floor, but we have to do it.
We did finish it, but we only finished it on one side.
Well, yes. We put it in the position where we're going to leave it, let's say, permanently, and we're going to make a mark on each side. There will measure 45 centimeters, correct?
Right? 45 millimeters?
And there will measure 45 millimeters inward. To make the hole, we're gonna make the hole so we can later put those little white pieces that will stay there. They're going to hold the toilet.
And the toilet won't move in any way anymore. Are you stressed about how to install a bathroom in our house?
A toilet.
A toilet in our house.
First, we locate the screws, make holes in the floor, and put the section.
Now we screw in the small parts.
Next step, install the toilet. Once we check that the toilet fits onto our supports, we don't hang it yet. Now it's time for the tank. It's already assembled inside, so we just need to connect the
Hose with the water. If we want our toilet to have water, otherwise it won't.
This is going to go here, and in this case, this bathroom has it underneath. If you look, it's right here. When you edit the video, in the end, you have to install the cistern. We'll do that with these little screws that come here to secure it to the rest of the bathroom.
This, come on, it doesn't even move. Hold. And the toilet lid, which we have around here. We've already installed it. How nice. Look how slowly the lid closes.
We've used a slow closing system because the noise is always annoying. Here we have the self-cleaning feature I mentioned earlier. These two holes release water when we flush the tank, cleaning this entire area, which is what usually gets the dirtiest.
Well, today we have bad news. We're going to explain it. It turns out that yesterday we were testing the furniture and there's no way it will fit since the installation is old. And so it's time. And since the furniture is wall-mounted, there's not enough space for it to be placed against the wall. Let's say there's a gap here. So, well, we've been going back and forth a lot, and what are we going to have to do?
Ivan? One of the
Options. Now?
Yes? Can you hear me? One of the options was to remove the drain and well, connect it properly, but it's a very old drain and we'd rather not mess with drainage issues and such, just in case. And so the second option is to make a small hole here in the cabinet, like this, so the drain doesn't go in. It's not unusual either, because in many kitchens, in many cabinets, you always have to make a small hole. The truth is, it's a bit complicated for us here, because between that and right here, exactly at the height where we have to install it, the water pipes run through, so installing the cabinet is quite an adventure. This is all due to the sloppy manner in which the old installation was done. And now when it comes to installing things, it gets a bit complicated for us.
My father lent us this machine. Honestly, it works really well. It detects if there is pipes or electrical issues. So basically, we turn it on and put it against the wall to find out if there's something there or not. There you can see the percentage chance that you might hit something.
If we keep going down, 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 supposedly there's nothing here, there's nothing here, there's nothing here. And when we get to the area, that's exactly where we have to place the furniture, which will be down here.
It's at 77%, almost an 80% chance of drilling something here. As if that wasn't enough, well, we could also have a hole here.
As mentioned before, when we remodeled this bathroom and drilled as usual, jets of water started coming out right after we made the water connection.
If that happens, we would have to break this tile and fix it, and we don't want that to happen.
Remove the faucets first. Yesterday we bought this flexible siphon, which is so we can make shapes that are a bit more unusual. We already did it once with this type of siphon at my parents' house in the apartment.
This allows us to adjust for varying distances.
These pieces of wood brace the furniture, keeping it held together in this position. So to try to do as little damage as possible, we'll adjust as much as we can. To try to make the hole as neat as possible, we're going to use this hole saw. Since the inside of the cabinet is made of particle board, what I'm going to do is apply a kind of bathroom silicone to cover the entire inside part of the particle board. And in case someday, for whatever reason, there's a leak or a few drops of water splash out or something, the particle board would never get wet. This is usually done when installing a countertop or making a hole to fit a built-in piece of furniture inside a kitchen. And all of this. And this way, we prevent water from seeping into the particle board. What we have to do is install that bracket, because the furniture will be attached there, so that it hangs, let's say. This is the decisive moment. If a pipe bursts, it would be now. Nervous? And now it's time to turn on the water and check if the holes leak or not. Hello. Good news, good news.
We passed the first step well, so we're pretty happy because
We are very, very happy, extremely happy. To celebrate, I was going to make paella, but along the way I ended up making this kind of improvised pad thai. I did exactly the same as when I make paella, but in this case without adding tomato. To my surprise, it turned out really delicious. Let's open the mirror that we got from 80 centimeters, and it's the Zero model. I'm going to put the sealant here like we did before because it's also particle board.
The next step is to attach the countertop to the new cabinet of our sink.
What we're going to do is put it on all three sides and then place the wood on top. The stopper we're going to use now is this one, which is also white. It's the same material as the sink.
Now for the faucet. With the water hoses attached, we'll tighten it from underneath to fasten it securely.
This is the flexible drain we mentioned.
Especially when it comes to water, always remember these little rubber gaskets so we make sure no water is leaking through. The good thing about this is that you can shape it however you want. These flexible pipes are great for this. We're going to apply polyvinyl chloride glue.
What we're going to use is this right here, which is for cleaning your butt. No need for virate.
It's a little whim, nothing has been put in.
No, if he doesn't go to this mic, what does he know? We had to leave that just like that, which is how it was before. And we're going straight to the shower since we're missing some accessories, so we'll see what's missing from the shower because today is Sunday and we can't go buy anything. We set it up really high. Well, it's not that it was tall, but when we put it together, it ended up being really high.
Since it's an old installation, they made it super high. Wow. Honestly, we've been wanting a shower like this for a while.
It looks really great because it's chrome, just like the shower and the faucet we installed. I think it looks very nice, don't you agree? Don't tell me, just leave it for tomorrow already. It's your turn to check if something is leaking water.
It's time to install a mirror.
Now it gives it light. Oh, what?
Cool, what do you think?
You'd call me handsome, right?
He came in with a look on his face.
Man, like you don't even know if this is going to go wrong or not?
When the wood is lit up, you can really see the grain and texture of the wood, just like porcelain that imitates wood, so to speak. And it looks super authentic. I really like it, don't you?
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks cool like this, but if we do it like this, right?
But how did you do it? It was a little surprise I had.
But how? If there's only one line of light?
Because this one can be controlled until it only has music?
Wow, that's true, I didn't remember. Hi, that's cool. I love this stone with the indirect light, it was gorgeous. Look at how it looks on this crappy camera, you can see. on the reflection. I really like it. Honestly, how does this stone look when it's lit up? A few days later, we went to buy some extenders for the shower and put in the finishing touches that were missing in the bathroom. And finally, we had it. This bathroom has been quite an achievement, a real satisfaction, not only because we love the result, but also because of all the obstacles we've had to overcome. In a renovation, you really never know what you're going to find. While this has a certain charm, it can also be a bit frustrating at times. That's why the most important thing is to get back up after every fall and try a little harder. When you overcome the first obstacle, the second one doesn't seem so big, and the third is nothing, just a little twist of fate. Overcoming things and surpassing yourself, that's how you end up feeling incredibly proud. This would be the transformation of our bathroom. We hope you liked it as much as we did, and don't miss the upcoming videos. We're going to completely renovate an apartment with lots of adventures, so we'll see you very soon. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our social media so you don't miss out on the day-to-day of all our transformations.